Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, folks? Oh, yeah, okay, good. I don't think I wasn't reading my audio there for a second. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you enjoyed the nice extra long weekend with MLK Day yesterday. JT here with another Chart Talk Live. It is Tuesday, January the 20th. Hope everybody is doing well today. All right, let's dig in. Let's get going. Let me get a quick announcement out. Also, let me get my screen sharing started. Okay, that looks good. YouTube looks good. Let's move this over here so I can see it a little better. All right, there we go. And let me get a quick announcement out about this. Being up and running. All right, let's get over to the chat. What's up, Navy Plum? Good morning to you. What's up, Nick? What's up, New Trader? Good to see you all here in the mix. Hope everybody's doing well. What's up, Jolly? Good to see you. What's up, LB? Archie, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, hope you enjoyed the nice extra long weekend that we got. All right, so let's dig in. Let's talk about it. Obviously, the market's pulling back significantly here with the geopolitical tensions that, if I'm being perfectly blunt about it, that the U.S. continues to kick off. The pullback today, obviously, a reaction to the threat regarding Greenland, threats, plural, I should say, regarding Greenland, and tariffs on European Union countries that aren't playing nice about that, which, why should they? It's a silly thing for us to even be involved with, but here we are nonetheless. So that led to a gap down here in futures. After we broke down below this ascending trend line, pushed up, got a back test, pushed up off that key NTS buying pressure, pulled up, back tested and rejected that ascending trend line. Ultimately, that led us to gap down. We've now started to flip some of these hourly indicators to the bearish side. SMA's curling down. Certainly looks to me like we're going to continue this pullback probably at least to 68.12.25. That's kind of the next key support. Prior all-time highs on ES, so it'll be very interesting to see if it can catch some support there. Breakout levels, if ES can break out back above 68.89 and also clear VWAP, it's just a little bit above there right now, could wind up being right on or below that 68.89.25 level by the time we get up there for a test. I'd be interested to watch that for a potential push above and might even go for a gap fill if ES can get back above 68.89.25. So a couple of key levels to keep there on watch. Things starting to show some structural breakdown here in addition to the geopolitical issues that we just mentioned a moment ago. So keep your heads on a swivel. Long story short, it's going to be very interesting to see if the market just eats this dip right back up or if it looks at this as, a sign of potential other issues to come with regards to how America interacts with the rest of the world and how that might affect businesses and profits here in the U.S. So let's get to some trade plan recaps, and then of course we will work on some new ticker requests here this morning live together. So if you all have any tickers you want me to take a look at during our stream this morning, please feel free to go ahead and start dropping those in the chat. If you have any questions about anything else, obviously this is a great time to get those questions out there. So feel free to drop those in the chat as well. All right, let's get to some recaps here. What are we seeing with some of our existing trade plans? Netflix kept giving us these little dips just below our put entry, but really kind of refusing to break down, especially this consolidation here right at about 87 to 84. Prior day's low there. So that's going to be a interesting level to keep on watch moving forward. Not sure it's part of any existing support and resistance. Let's see. I don't have my levels turned on here. Yeah, if there's support and resistance there, I've either got my 88.15 level a little bit high, or I'm just missing that level entirely. Just want to take a quick look at this, see if there's something there. It certainly looks to me like 88.15 is the key level there. Yeah, I mean, I can make a case for there being a level here at 87.35. I didn't have currently on my chart, so I want to take a quick look at this, see what that looks like. Yeah, it's still not really the level where this is bouncing. So again, sometimes things fake out, make it, maybe perhaps a little bit of a bear trap there, although we are rejecting the 333 SMA here pre-market. Also, as a reminder, Netflix does have earnings this evening after the bell, so keep all of that in mind as you determine how you want to potentially trade this plan, but hasn't broken back above the stop loss average down for the put side of the trade plan, so this is still ultimately looking bearish despite, again, giving some sort of consolidation, almost bear trappy liquidity sweep type looks here Thursday and Friday of last week after getting the confirmed break below our put entry. So Netflix kind of refusing to break down and follow the plan so far. We'll keep an eye on it, see how this plays out again. Friendly reminder, they do have earnings today after the bell, so be very careful with Netflix and swinging anything on it, as it could go very hard one direction or the other once that ER data hits the market. All right, let's keep going. Core Weave, this one did give us a breakout to the upside. Played for PT1 plus, then it's gotten the gap down, but catching this 200 SMA as support, seems to be wanting to ride it back to the upside. Might try to push for that gap fill. If it does continue to hold the 200 SMA gap fill back up to the upside to 101.13. But overall, some upside price targets hit on this one after we did our plan for it and got the confirmed break. A little bit of a pullback here, like I said, along with the rest of the markets, but overall holding pretty good bullish momentum and trend. I would say it's a little bit of a mixed bag with what we're seeing here overhead, but again, a lot of that is news / catalyst driven, not really a technical pullback there. So Core Weave may bounce and try to continue higher. Root, this one was from last Tuesday's live stream. I don't know why I have this on. Oh, duh, because it needs to be right there. From last Tuesday's live stream, this one did give us a breakdown below our put entry down to PT1 and now testing PT2 here pre-market. So make sure you're taking profits on this and moving up your stops. But nice technical breakdown once we got below that put entry and the 200 SMA. Then we get our nice back test of that confluence, and then on to the downside. It's moved down about $7 from that rejection, so about 10% on route to the downside there. All right, HIMS, this one, again, has been a little bit of a challenge to trade. Glad we cut it what we did, though, because it has since gapped down. Now it's testing PT1 and looking like it might want to push further to the downside for PT2. So this one looking pretty bearish at the moment. SMA is looking bearish. Rejected that sell pressure area along with the NTS flag. So kind of a nice confluence there with our indicators. Ultimately pushing things down to the downside. PT1 hit and looks like it might want to take a shot for PT2. And then last but not least, Figma Technologies. This one also nice breakdown, nice back test, and from there it's been down, down, down for PT3 plus for puts down to 28.66 here pre-market with a little bit of a gap to fill back to the upside to 29.58, but ultimately Fig looking pretty rough, looking like it wants to continue to the downside potentially, especially as long as it's below 29.90. All right, let's get to some new trade plan ticker requests here this morning. I see LB's got SIVR, not one I'm super familiar with, but we'll see what that looks like when I pull up the chart. If you all have any questions or any other ticker requests that you want me to try to get to in the time that we have here this morning, please feel free to drop those in the in the morning live stream chat. I almost said elite chat for some reason. I guess that's where the plans will ultimately be posted. So I was getting ahead of myself. All right, SIVR. Let's take a look at this one for LB. I'm guessing this is silver related. Yep, physical silver shares up 6%. That tracks pretty close to where silver futures are at. That is not actual levels on this one. Been getting good volume the last 30 days. All right, let's take a look at this. Kind of wonder if, let me take a look at this. You know what? Why don't we plan this out with silver futures? And then you could clearly trade SLV, SIVR. I mean, really kind of any silver related, I should say silver specifically related name by using silver futures. I think that's going to be the best approach for this and where we're going to see the cleanest price action. So that's the approach we're going to take. What vehicle you choose to execute this with, or if you choose to execute it with actual silver futures, I think that makes good sense. All right. So obviously all-time highs, was in a little bit of a channel, broke out of that, swept below it a couple of times, continues to push higher here. So we should have, zoom out a little bit more here, or zoom in a little bit more here. Sorry, wrong direction. Yeah, it had a pretty clear trend that it was using to run all the way up to this all-time high rejection here. So let's use that to our advantage. Should take us up right to about here. That looks good right about there. So it's coming up on the next extension here. Catch these prior highs here, and then this level down here. And let's see what other support and resistance we've built up in the mix between these levels. Pretty clear level being built right here at 92.65. All right, so the big question becomes, it's SI or SI1 exclamation point, LB, depending on, should just, SI should get you right to SI1 though. So a little bit of a challenge on this one because we are at all-time highs. We pretty much just have these trend-based fib extensions to work from. Pretty clear flip of resistance to support here as well. All right, so here's how I'd handle this. Pretty much the only way we can handle it, considering where it's at. But I would make an adjustment on that break above 96.53 to tighten up that stop a little bit. Little gap to fill down here on silver futures still. A little bit of a placeholder level here where I'm trying to find where exactly that support and resistance is sitting. Let's zoom in a little bit. I want to see if that's really where that gap sits. Yeah, it is. $200 SMA curling up, probably going to provide some additional support here at 87.69. So certainly I think that makes sense to use it as our second price target. Third target to the downside. All right. So that gives us a pretty sound plan to work from, I think. What is that? 953. Downside break below 92.65, 89. Whoops. And that is 85. Stop loss average down at 94.53, and that's going to be for both sides. That looks good. All right, cool. Let's clean this up real quick. Then I think we're ready to rock and roll with our silver trade plan. Oh, that's why. Don't have a group for those yet. There we go. That looks good. All right, let's get this posted. Here is your silver trade plan. And let me post this in the elite chat so we can get alerts set on our plan. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. All right. Oops. Double everyone in my post. There we go. All right. Let's get this link. Let's get it set. Okay, cool. That all looks good. Whoops, that's if we're doing the SPY plan. This goes till next week. All right, looks good. Alerts are set. And then last but not least, let's lock in our template. All right, we're good to go. So what are we looking for here on silver? We're looking for a break above 96.54 to play this massive move to the upside, continuation up to 98.89. 101.17 and 104.50 with a stop loss average down at 94.53. To the downside, we're waiting for it to break below 92.65. That should bring price targets at 89.98, 87.70, and 85.81 with a shared stop loss average down with that upside trade plan there at 94.53. Again, you can use this chart to trade SLV, SIVR, probably pretty much just about any silver related ticker. You should be able to use this futures trade plan to execute those trades with. All right, let's keep it rolling. What do we have next? What kind of questions? What ticker requests do we have, folks? Everybody's a bit quiet this morning. LB's going to snag all of the ticker request slots if nobody else starts chiming in, which is okay. This is not a required interaction event. What's up, B Hart? Good to see you, brother. We'll take a look at coin for sure. Let's go. Coin with a big move down here. Let's just do this the smart way. How about that? There we go. What's up, Crypto Painter? We'll try to take a look at open as well. All right. Let's see. What do we want to do with you, coin? 333, 200. Curling down. Looks like, let's see how this lines up. Yep. We've got a bit of a downtrend that it's dealing with. Might even be, let's see. Might even be a little bit of a downward channel here. Yeah, for sure. Well, almost for sure. Got two good tests of it, but Yeah, it definitely looks like a descending channel here for coin. Big gap to fill back to the upside. I'm looking at this prior all-time high on coin as a breakdown level. Yeah, there is a little bit more room I'd like to see cleared out before I go chasing any further downside on this name. Upside starts to get interesting. It's not on the entry into this gap, in my opinion. I think that move could be blocked by a few factors from continuing all the way up to that gap fill. I'm looking at something in this neck of the woods, though, right in here. I'm just trying to nail it down so we're not getting bull trapped. Yeah, it could be that I need to make a small adjustment on this level. Pretty close to that. Yeah. That's a kind of a small window of opportunity, though. Sorry, I'm just trying to get us into this trade where there's still hopefully some room up to fill in this gap while at the same time not getting us into running into a brick wall. All right, let's take a shot at this. I'm going to call it now. This might be a bit of a premature entry here. But would also be very close to breaking us out of this downward channel if it doesn't actually break us out above it at the same time as it crosses this 235.28 level. Over that, at least for now, I think we need to focus on this being a gap fill for PT1. Could push a little higher up into this 242.41 level. Now, if we do start to push up, NTS might flatten out right here and give us a good confluence at 245.72. Then over that, I think we've got room to take a shot at this weekly level up here at 251.58. Let's check. I want to see what this looks like. Right at the bottom. Here on NTS, catching that bounce very close to that key buy level. All right. So, stop loss average down for either side. I'm looking at kind of where we're at right now, pre-market. Bit of an interesting level here. I want to check this. Come on, give me some price action here. Yeah, that might be... Nope. I was going to say that might be all we're going to have to work with on coin. Yeah, there's like... It's either two levels or there's a little bit of a range right in here that I'd want to be mindful of. Again, kind of sitting right where we're at pre-market. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm good with that. So, let's find our downside targets and then we'll have ourselves a fully developed plan here. Pretty decent fair value gap to fill to the downside. I know I want PT2 to be right there. It might be PT1. We'll see. Yeah, I'd lock this in or start taking profits right there. What's up, Panikin? Good to see you. Try to give you a quick look at those, if not a fully fledged trade plan for you. China names looking strong. Who knows? China might be the flight to safety right now. I wouldn't make that small adjustment to that weekly level. Set it as a third price target. Question is, do we have a better stop loss for this downside trade plan? It looks a bit... Yeah, I thought there's these two levels that I was, again, mentioning earlier, this little range. Yeah, I'm intrigued by this level as well. Could make for tightening up our risk just a little bit on this downside trade plan. Yeah, I think we should. All right, cool. So let's lock this in. Oops. What is that? 224.69 takes us down to no, that's not right. Hang on. This is level 2. Oh, that's because my thing moved right there. Duh. All right, cool. I got it. We're good. That looks good. All right, let's get this locked in. Looks about right to me. About equal risk reward to PT1 on both sides here. All right, yep, that all looks good. Let's get this into the chat so we can do what we need to do to get this finished up here. Copy link. Here comes your coin live stream plan. There. And here. And let's get this over in the elite chat. Let's get our link. And let's get our alerts here. Yeah, that's good. We'll get this until... All right, so let's talk through this one last time. What are we looking for here on coin? We're looking for a break over 235.28 to play this for the upside. Over that, we're looking for targets at 240.90, 245.72, and 251.58 with a stop loss average down at 230.40. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 224.69 that should bring targets at 219.54, 213.95, and 208.17 with a stop loss average down at 229.17. Those are your coin live stream plans. Let's go. All right. Happy to help B Hart. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's take a quick look at these other tickers that we had requested. Don't know if we have enough time to do full on trade plans on these. What are we looking for here on open? Open actually kind of a bit of an interesting hold here. We got a sweep below there last Thursday, sweep below here pre-market, trying to hold this bullish buying pressure here on NTS below. If we get a good confirmed break below 628, this one could open, no pun intended, room to the downside. Interesting couple of rejections here at these two spots. Could be the beginning or the continue. Yeah, that's a downtrend right there confirmed. So under 685, open looks like it could continue to grind its way to the downside. Over 685 could recover at least to 768, I'd say. So quick take on open. Definitely a volatile, tricky one to trade, but that's a quick take on that one for you there, Crypto Painter. Let's take a look at Baidu and Baba, not Baida. How about get the name right? Yeah, China names looking strong in the face of U.S. market pullback. Yeah, I'd say over 151.97 is a pretty nice little window of opportunity that takes you up to 157.60, right to that prior peak over that 151.97. Then I'd be looking pretty close to this 161.14 level. So it kind of looked like that. Let's see, I'm kind of thinking this. Yeah, 200 SMA should be coming up to add some support here at this 147.53. So I'd look at that as a stop loss. Came shy of this weekly level up here. That's kind of what I was expecting to see as a third price target, but might be a little bit tighter down to 164.90. Yeah, there's a double top there right at that level, some support. Yeah, rejection there. Yeah, I would put that price target 3 just a little bit tighter. Right there to that 164.90 level. So not really a fully fledged trade plan, but a decent little upside plan here for you. Panicking. Thank you, as always, for joining. I appreciate it. I'm not even going to Baidu idea for. I'll let you add your analysis to this and decide how you want to execute it, brother. You know exactly what you're doing. You don't need that much input from me. But there's my thoughts on it since you asked. All right, we're about 15 minutes out from market open. I do need to get the daily SPY plan put together. So I'm going to go get to work on that. We will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Please come back Thursday. We'll be here doing this all over again, checking back on these trade plans, working on some new ones, and providing any additional guidance outside of that you all feel like you need at that point. So with that being said, this is JT signing off for Chart Talk Live for today. As we always say here on Chart Talk Live, plan your trades, trade your plans. Remember, we're looking for profits, not perfection. So keep those wins big, keep those losses small. Go out there, get some green, secure the bag. I will see you all in the chats, and I will see you back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Talk to you soon.